California officials sit down with Mexico's top diplomat as tensions rise between the U.S. and Mexico. Mexico's Foreign Affairs Secretary met with Governor Jerry Brown and undocumented immigrants.
CBS 13's Lamore Abrams is at the Mexican consulate in Natomas with the latest.
The meeting with Governor Brown took place behind closed doors, but Mexico's top diplomat publicly appeared here at Sacramento's Mexican consulate, vowing to support Dreamers hand in hand with California officials.
Dreamers do not want crumbs from Mexico.
Mauro Arias is at the Mexican consulate with a sign and an impassioned message for Mexico's top diplomat.
We want you to go back to Mexico and create those opportunities that we don't have over there.
The 31-year-old dreamer says he's not scared of being deported to Mexico, where his parents escaped with him when he was just a kid. But as a college student, until recently shielded under DACA, Arias hopes to have his face-to-face with Mexico's Foreign Relations Secretary, Luis Videgaray, on his visit to the state capital for a closed-door meeting with Governor Jerry Brown.
What we discussed with Governor Brown is that we have a strong coincidence.
Mr. Videgaray says he's determined to working with the tens of thousands of DACA recipients who may be deported, providing legal counsel, services, jobs, and the ability to transfer school credits. But he went on to say the deportation of Dreamers would be a tremendous loss to the U.S. and a gift to Mexico.
Having 600,000 educated, college-educated, most of them, well-meaning, law-abiding, talented young people, full of energy and creativity. That would be a blessing for Mexico.
The announcement comes a week after President Trump ended the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals program that lets immigrants work and go to school in the country, even if they were brought here illegally as children. But Republican lawmakers aren't persuaded.
I'm very concerned about the state having too much of a role. And the state legislature and the governor only have so much to be able to determine on this issue.
Arias partially agrees.
I don't know if in reality they have the power to change.
But he hopes his story will awaken Washington.
I came here not because I choose to come here. I was brought here by my parents when I was 14 years old.
A UC Davis professor who attended the meeting tells me Videgaray plans to personally take the stories of DACA recipients he heard here to the White House in the coming days.
All right, Lamore, thank you very much. California is suing the Trump administration over its decision to phase out the DACA program. Attorney General Xavier Becerra joined the attorneys general for Minnesota, Maryland, and Maine and filed a suit today. The four states argue that the administration violated the Constitution and federal laws when it rescinded the program.
In this country, I've never seen a case where we tell children that we're going to punish them for acts that they were not responsible for.
The administration's decision affects 800,000 people. A quarter of those live in California.
A new state bill aims to make it illegal for federal immigration agents to enter schools and state-owned buildings without a warrant for surveillance or arrests. The bill was introduced last week and will move forward in January. According to the bill, ICE agents' presence at these public buildings will keep residents from paying fines and cooperating with state investigations.